So let's try some basic JavaScript exercises. And what we want to focus on right now is the concept of the JavaScript function. So this is an empty HTML file, and it's using the Bootstrap files, and I've also included jQuery and the necessary libraries for Bootstrap, which we're not going to use, but I have them in there as a matter of course. So I want to create a really simple file. First thing we're going to do is just make sure that this appears properly in the web browser. It should be a blank screen with just a browser title set. And it is. It just has the title, JavaScript exercises. Everything else is empty. All right, let's go write some basic code here. Really simple stuff. I'm going to create a button. A class equals button primary. href equals, and I'm just going to put the hashtag in because I'm not going to actually go anywhere. And I'll close that and I'll say click me and close that. So if I go back, save this, go back to my web browser and reload, I have a button, and clicking it does absolutely nothing. So let's make that call a JavaScript function. The place to put JavaScript functions, and I see I have my body tag in the wrong spot here, so I'm going to move it. The place to put JavaScript is just before the closing body tag, whenever you possibly can, because it will cause your page to render faster. So, just before my closing body tag, I'm going to put in a script tag. This is what we wrap JavaScript in, and a closing script tag. And I'm going to create a really simple JavaScript function that just displays an alert saying, hello world. So, you start functions with a keyword, function, then you have to give your function a name. And the name can be whatever you want, but try to make them as descriptive as possible. So I'll put in, say, hello world. And functions have to end with parentheses. If you're going to pass parameters to them, there'll be something in there. But we're not right now, so we'll just leave that empty. Then you have your curly braces, and you do whatever you want to do. And all I'm going to do here is say, alert, hello world. All right. Now that function exists, and if I go back and save this and go back and reload the web browser, no errors, everything works the way it's supposed to, but clicking the button actually doesn't do anything because I've yet to invoke that function. So we can do that any number of ways, but the simplest way is to add an attribute to my A tag up here and say onClick equals, and then in quotes, the name of my function. Say hello world. Save that. Go back to the web browser, reload it, and now when I click this button, I get a little JavaScript alert. No problem. All right, let's make another function, and we'll call this function return text, and it takes no parameters in the parentheses. And all I'm going to do now is say return hello world. Now that's not being called anywhere. What I'm going to do is call the function return text from within the function say hello world. And I'll do that by saying var to declare variables, my text. I've actually created a variable. Now I'm going to store some value in it. My text equals return text, the name of the function I just created down here. And instead of alerting hello world, I'll actually alert just that variable name, my text. So what should happen when I click the button up here, it should call say hello world. Say hello world will then create an empty variable called my text. My text then gets assigned whatever return text returns. So we jump down to return text, and it just returns hello world. And then it alerts the value of my text. So let's save this, go back to our web browser, reload this page, and click that button. And it does exactly what I want. And I know it's different because this time I have a capital letter and an exclamation mark at the end. So that works exactly as I want. Now we'll be using functions a fair bit as time goes on, but this is the basic syntax for calling them, and it's not complicated at all.